do in header bidding is you send parallel ad requests to all the partners which are there in your stack. And then you wait for the partners to give you a response back. And then along with the response, what they also send back, or what they can also send back, is the bid in which they want to bid. And then you can choose the demand partner with the highest bid, and you can show an ad. So in this case, if you see from the traditional waterfall method, we've kind of eliminated the need of checking historical data or putting a priority manually. Right, we are able to send parallel requests to multiple ad networks, and based on whoever is sending out highest bid to us, we are going to show that ad. So this method definitely improves a lot of yield, because in a case of waterfall, there might be few ad networks which would come lower down the priority, which are not able to get those users which they can bid higher for, and hence having this kind of setup can increase your CPMs, your placement yields by much more. Now again, this setup also would come with certain challenges, especially on the tech side. AC, if you can talk about that as well.
So I think one of the things that in-app header bidding sort of a model addresses is the latency question, right? You're not proceeding in a waterfall fashion, so you're not waiting for a partner to go and ask the next partner that whether you have a demand or not. So in turn, what happens is that obviously you can add more partners than what you would be there in a traditional format, but that also leads to a couple of problems that we see happening on devices. So first thing is that if you add too many partners as a part of your mediation stack again, right, then all these partners are going to compete with one another, right? So from an advertiser standpoint, they are getting a smaller chunk of whatever is your particular inventory. Even if somebody's winning 2% of the times, 5% of the times, 7% of the times, that's 5% going away from any other demand source, right? So you still have to bring in a lot from the demand sides onto your revenue pie to actually make it as a justifiable action that, okay, I need this particular partner as a part of my mediation chain. Second thing that also happens is that mobiles in general are again resource constructive. So you can't have a lot of SDKs as a part of your mediation stack, because every SDK addition would also have its own issues, and there's an added on weight that comes in. And if you're doing in-app header bidding and it's happening on the client side for some instance, then in that case, at a particular point in time, there'll be too many network requests and resource requests that are going to go, and that is also going to cause performance issues or delayed start issues and other things like that. So you need to come up with an optimal number again. It's not like that there is a free lunch here, you can just add things. You probably need to limit the partner numbers. Again, yardstick number still remains the same. If you don't know what is my optimal number, stick with a value less than 5. Do not go for 20-30 partners that are added unless and until you're adding them on a particular mediation server, because you have a higher bandwidth and better connectivity that comes in. And secondly, what also needs to happen is that if there is a partner that's contributing again less than 10%, they need to be revisited after a particular point in time. Although the penalty of having such a partner on a server-side mediation setup is lesser, and we've seen instances where people have seen some growth happen during holidays and other seasons where the smaller partners might have better demand and they would be able to actually give you a higher eCPM. But overall, just managing those partners out and other things, it needs to have a justifiable reason, right? It can't be that I'm just going to add 200 partners and then see what is the sort of best combination. You would be in a much better position if you have a couple of partners and you're managing those configurations across geographies in a better way. And that could be different for apps and games, because apps tend to be more local and games tend to be more global. But you need to sort of figure out what the optimal ratio there is going to be like.